Howdy everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Debauchery Circus Campaign here on the Random Rhapsody Network. I am Matthew Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around my virtual table today are Brandie, Brie, Jr., and Steven. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customization tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-design tools let you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator tool right in your web browser, which is where we build our tokens for this campaign. You can build your own today at heroforge.com. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely. You can blur, remove the background entirely, or even put your favorite picture as your background instead, which is what I do. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show descriptions. Last but not least, I'm going to remind you all that this Wednesday, May 10th, is the next episode of Sonnet of Blood, our Curse of Strahd playthrough, which starts at 6 p.m. Central Time here on Twitch. We also, I've also got one more announcement, which is I'm going to be playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition over on the Lost Caravan RPG for their Pathfinder week of games. I'm going to be playing Renard, the Kitsune Sorcerer, in The Whims of Passenger on Thursday, May 11th, starting at 7 p.m. Central. And you can find them over on twitch.tv/Lost Caravan RPG. Now you can keep up to date on all of our schedule and everything we're doing by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. And that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventures of the Debauchery Circus. And we're back. So when we last left off, the Debauchery Circus had teleported into the Erudite Conclave's branch in the city of Revancia after a call had gone out to all of its members requesting aid. Once they arrived, the team hurried up to the upper levels of the building, where they found a group of cultists who were seemingly attempting to break into the office of the chief archivist. Seeing many of the cultists that are clustered together, Corrin, God, yeah, I'm just tripping all over myself today. But anyway, seeing many of the cultists clustered together, Corrin let off a fireball amongst the crowd, which also unfortunately nearly killed the chief archivist, who is being held in chains by the cult.
I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody else threw that, not me.
Yeah, he did not send that fireball.
Right, definitely not him.
I'm a chronomancer. I don't even like that spell.
Now, this caused the squad to change their tactics slightly, with Blaznir confounding the enemies through illusion, while the rest of the squad picked off the cult one by one. In an attempt to hinder the party's advance, one of the cultists threw out a crystalline vial containing a powerful merilith that filled the halls and hammered down on the team while the cultists attempted to regroup. In the end, the squad was able to destroy the merilith and rescue the chief archivist, though 2 of the cultists did manage to escape via a couple of Dimension Door spells that allowed them to disappear into the city. And so, Debauchery Circus, with the cultists now dead or escaped, and the leader of the Conclave's Alpha Outpost released from his bindings, you all discussed the possibility of chasing after the ones who fled. But the arrival of a group of monks sent by Master Ohm, who had arrived not long ago and had gone down to deal with the remaining cultists down there, and instead you all kind of met with them, and once you realized what was going on, you all hurried down to the first floor to see if you could lend any aid. But by the time you arrived, the remaining forces of the Cult of the Dreamer had either been killed, had fled, or had been captured. Now, with the threat ended, you all assisted the Conclave in the cleanup and the search for survivors. After a long night of work, you were finally able to take a long rest. And in the morning, after some research, you met up with Tomas Rothen, who informed you all that you've been invited to join in a war council to discuss the cult's imminent threat. So as you are all waiting for that council to begin, a question comes to each of your minds. And that question is, what is the one monster in the world that you would like to face before you retire from adventuring? And, Corrin, since you're the one who rolled, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Yep. Well, since my character probably wouldn't know about it, I'm assuming that GIF is not a valid answer. So instead, what I'm going to go with is a genie of some kind. I don't actually want to face them in like a straight up fight because that's not usually what they're for, but that sort of like tricky, weird kind of socially type encounter thing is a lot of fun.
Okay.
And I like genies a lot. They're super cool.
Genie in a bottle.
Come on and let me out.
Lapis, how about you?
So I don't know that Lapis would necessarily have a one specific monster she'd want to face, being that she just likes to wander and see what she can before she's got to go back. I mean, it's probably going to be considered a cop-out answer, but she'd just be happy to encounter anything she can along the way.
All right, what is a monster that is like the biggest turtle possible?
A turtle
dragon turtle?
Yeah, a dragon turtle. Definitely.
Yeah,
Hell
I think Lapis wouldn't get too cocky either, though. She would be like, "Yeah, I can take that out."
I wouldn't want to fight a dragon turtle because I feel like he's the good guy in that situation.
Yeah.
Whatever we're fighting about, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight one either.
Just experience, just to, if you met him, that'd be great. But yeah.
Yeah, I wanted him to be my friend.
I was just imagining like whatever the biggest, turtle in the world would be, and then she would fight that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some mad scientist's project.
Little turtle on turtle action.
Uh-oh.
Sure, why not?
Okay, Ichabod, how about you?
The sapphire dragon, the Zaim himself.
Ooh.
Hit me, bro. Let's go. We didn't get to finish it last time. Round 2, rematch.
Yeah.
Ding ding.
Yeah.
That would be a fun battle. The Zaim, the Cerulean Sentinel Arcades.
Yeah,
for
the
you.
5e post-campaign, you can have Ichabod and him fight and determine what happened.
that dude's thousands of years old.
Yeah. But it's in the future when Ichabod's like level 20 when I'm not playing him anymore.
You know, you gotta wonder what's going on with the Zaim right now, because the last thing you heard was that Rowena's kind of in chaos right now, and nobody's seen
Yeah,
him.
I mean, he wrecked his own house, which was kind of a dumb move. So,
Yeah, you let anger get
but
hold
you
of you.
know,
It's not good.
yeah, he has a problem. He should see therapy, or he should see me, so I can put him out of his misery.
Clearly, he's not. Clearly, he doesn't want to go back. He wouldn't wreck his house if he's going to go back.
Yeah,
I think the relationship is over there.
I think he's gonna come steal our house.
Definitely.
I mean,
Everybody
he can try.
wants Coltras, best town in the world.
Okay, well, Blaznir, how about you?
I don't think he would necessarily want to fight, but he would want to meet some sort of archfey or a grand elemental like a phoenix,
Okay.
and just shake hands, be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hmm.
And that's it.
Hey, what's up? Shake hands. It eats you.
Yeah. I guess it does say, "Would you like to face?" Not
Yeah,
necessarily
face.
to.
Not to meet, but just to
Yeah.
face. Or yeah.
Yeah, so face
So
could be
face-
like meeting him.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah,
Faced him in a verbal conflict.
yeah.
There
I'd like
you
to
go.
debate an archfey.
That would
Finn
go
would want to
well.
meet an archfey, but he would want to do it just so he could try and figure out the exact kind of deal he would need to make with her in order for her to require payment in the form of his firstborn.
Mm,
Mm.
there you go. Okay. Well, Debauchery Circus. With that, what after leaving Tomas Rothen, you all kind of did a little bit of research and learned a little bit more about the Umbra Spire, the tall mountain in the center of the Gentler Wastes. Now, during this time, as you're preparing yourself, Corrin, you are approached by one of the research liaisons who comes up to you and tells you that the arcane research branch of the outpost is currently going over the notes that Tomas had provided, and field researcher Rothen had mentioned that you had taken a look at it and kind of gone over it, and had shed some insight on the subject. And they were wondering if you could you assist them a little bit in trying to decipher the full workings of what's
Hell
going on
yeah.
here.
It's always nice to feel needed. I will absolutely do this.
Yeah, they tell you that it's not often that they head up researchers outside of the conclave, but given the gravity of the situation and your familiarity of it, you're like one of the first people they thought of. So you are led away from the group down up a few flights of stairs to one of the research laboratories in the conclave. They seem to be like, imagine Rick Sanchez's workshop, whiteboards covered in scrawls of mathematical formulas and things like that, papers all over the place. There's about half a dozen different wizards there, all kind of arguing and debating, but one of them comes up to you. Now let me get this guy here real quick.
Obviously, if they had honey meat in their halls, it means they had bees.
Okay.
There's a bunch of Lord of the Rings people arguing over whether they had bees in Middle-earth.
Sad thing is, I wrote this guy's name down and now I can't find it.
Oh no. Quick, to the random name generator.
I know, right?
Hmm.
Anyway, this is Gainik Raiden, She is a female half-orc, wearing your typical tan and green conclave robes. She comes up and approaches you and says, You are Corrin Hassan, correct?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes. Senior Field Researcher Rothin informed us that you have already taken a look at these blueprints and had a little bit of time to look them over. Perhaps you can assist us with this problem. We're attempting to basically work backwards and try to ascertain what exactly this ritual that they're describing is used for, and seeing if we can guess what these blueprints are in relation to what they're doing.
Absolutely, I will assist in any way I can.
So what I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need you to make 2 Arcana checks.
22 and a 29.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. You begin first looking at the magical computations. Then you're like, the best way I can describe this sort of thing is it looks like a shit ton of math, calculus, just sprawled out over these boards. You start glancing through everything, just reading it, trying to work your mind around what the spell is. You can tell just from reading it over that they need 5 points of magic that exhibit both necrotic and
temporal properties.
And temporal properties, chronomantic properties. They need 5 objects of that nature. They also
the dream roots.
They also, it looks like they need 2 points of both nature and necrotic magic. 2 focal points. One goes into the center of a very large structure that holds the 5 objects that you can guess is probably the dream roots. Spinning it around in a gyroscopic manner, harnessing the arcane magic from it, to create basically a portal. The last point, which you're guessing is probably the dream seed. One of them goes into the center of that portal, while the other is a clear line here at the opposite end, creating a sort of fulcrum that sends energy into this portal, pushing it backwards. You're kind of, as you're seeing this, you're seeing the way they're harnessing chronomantic magic, the way they're harnessing time and funneling it backwards. It almost appears like they're trying to open a door to the past, to create a portal into what you can only describe as a separate realm. You're familiar with magic, and you know that on Loroupa you can access certain planes of existence. The celestial plane, for example, the abyssal plane, the ethereal plane, the Shadowfell, stuff like that. But the computations that you're reading here don't add up to anything you've seen before. Now, you've heard tales and things like this before of a dream realm. A realm where the innate spark of creativity can fashion illusions of existence. And the math that you're reading, that you're seeing, it looks as though this portal they're trying to open is opening to that realm.
Okay.
Now, with your 29 Arcana of the second one, based on the mathematical formulas that you're getting, which you actually have to go up and you're like, no, this is wrong, and you erase one point and you start writing it down. You start correcting a lot of their mathematical mistakes.
Oh, wait, let me do Okay. I do not do it in a way that is,
Kind.
yeah, like, I do it like Sheldon Cooper would, and not like someone who's trying to let them save face or explain it to them in a
He just
condescending way.
scoffs at it and erase stuff.
Yeah, pretty much that's what you do. And like these researchers, you can tell like they're a little put off by this, and until they start like actually reading it, and then they start grabbing notes and start going through it, and like very large discussions going on now about the nature of the magic that you're kind of changing and erasing. Now
They become much less pissed off once they realize I know what I'm talking about.
You are fairly certain, based on the math that you're seeing here, that the ritual is going to take about 5 days to complete.
How long is it going to take to set something like this up?
Like, based on the blueprints that you're seeing, and because like it's just fragments of blueprints, it's like a few pages here and there. It's not the whole puzzle, but being that you are familiar with Master Brightscale's work, you've seen his the things that he's built back when you were a student of his, and you know for a fact that he is working with this cult, and you're recognizing that a lot of before when you looked, you recognized that a lot of the notes was his handiwork. You're fairly, just based on what you're seeing here, they probably already have it built.
Okay.
In fact, when you ask the Conclave members about that subject, I don't remember if you got this information before or not, but the cult leader had been seen leaving Revancia less than a week and a half ago. 2 blue dragons came flying up to her villa and left with very large containers. It was seen by...
I think we did hear about this.
Yeah, I think you did too.
This is like the head lady of the Church of the Five. Right.
And then she was seen in Rowena during the tournament in the company of Master Brightscale.
Yep.
Which is why you believe that he's working with her.
God damn it, Master.
Somebody's gonna get put down.
Always putting your excitement before your head. My character's Master.
But yeah, judging based off of what you're hearing and what the Conclave has been able to tell you, the cult is now at the Umbra Spire. They're probably setting this ritual up underneath it as you speak.
So we have 5 days then. So I just squeak out onto the board, surrounded by like lots of simple drawings of skull and crossbones. 5 days.
Yeah, this revelation puts the Conclave in pretty much full panic mode. The researchers are heading off to send the reports to the various agencies they need to. The War Council is pretty much about to start by the time you're done looking over this, and you're going to have to head over there fairly soon.
Yeah.
That's about the time Ichabod would have finished his research on the Umbra Spire itself. I know, Lapis, you had said that you were meditating during that time, and that's when Blaznir used that spell of his to reach out to the gods, or to nature or whatever, and ask his question. So your group reconvenes once again, and you are led by a research liaison down to the lower level of the Conclave. You find yourselves in a room that you've actually seen once before, at least a version of it. It is the Conclave sparring pit, the largest open space in the building itself. It is a large, square pit filled with sand, with bleachers of benches all around one side. As you head down the staircase to this level, the moment you get there, to the bottom, you're stopped. You are stopped by a pair of Conclave monks who have a very large stone totem placed at either side of the staircase. They instruct you to walk up individually, single file. And you actually watched other people doing this, but you're forced to walk up single file, stop between them, and the moment you do, you feel kind of a strange sensation about you, and you are compelled to tell the truth. You are stepped inside a cone of truth, and you are questioned whether or not you are a member of the Cult of the Dreamer.
Nope.
And you're given a few other questions as well, but none of you are members.
Time. Probably not.
What's that?
You've been killing them for so long. Probably not.
I don't think they'd accept us.
Only cult I'm a member of is your mama's sex cult.
Okay.
Well, you actually do pass through. They do allow you through. Though one of them does look like they really want to slap you, Corrin, given the gravity of the situation. But
Funny
you
thing
are...
is, that's the truth.
Yeah, it is the truth.
That's right. It's the truth, though.
But as you're making your way through, you actually spot quite a few people out in the crowd. You see Master Ohm, Lapis, you would recognize him immediately. A few others of you have met him as well. He is a short, humanoid-looking man with bald head, very large ears, and just wrinkles upon wrinkles upon wrinkles. He's ancient and slightly bronzed, as though he spends most of his time out in the sun. But he's talking to somebody else that your group recognizes immediately. It's Bachelor Grig, the gold-scaled dragonborn who is the archdruid over at Facespire Retreat.
Bachelor. He's okay.
Bachelor is good people.
He has a few other druids in attendance with him as well. Blaznir, you would immediately notice the fact that there are quite a few others, druids as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually, you can see 5 of them in total, though you don't actively recognize any of them, Blaznir. You can tell just by their demeanor and the things that they wear that these are all archdruids from the various druid groves around Loroupa.
It's definitely an all-hands-on-deck kind of situation, so I'm not surprised.
Makes me feel a bit better that so many archdruids are here.
You can see that there are the leaders of most of the Conclave branches are here in attendance. Let's see, who do you actually recognize? You also recognize Sashanel Borental. He is the chief archivist over at the Conclave branch in North EMEA. You've encountered him a few times. He is standing next to a small gnome that your group has worked with before, Hencook Fribbs. You also notice, Corrin, you would notice this. Spellmaster Kitefang, the leader of the Spellblades in North EMEA, is here, along with Allard Palestep, the head wizard of the Magisterium Arcanum. Probably not somebody you want to see, but he'll look a lot different.
He'll never know.
Besides, at this point, all I really would have to say is something along the lines of, we didn't know where the cult had infiltrated, we didn't know who we could trust, and this was a world-ending situation, so... But...
We're just not going to risk it.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Most of these people, those are the people your group fairly well recognized. You can also see that at the other end of the room, there are a few members of the Debauchery, or not the Debauchery Circus. You're the Debauchery Circus. A few members of the Fab Five.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in attendance as well, and seem to be talking to a big group of dwarves over on the far side.
Interesting.
But there is pretty much everybody that you've ever encountered here with the Erudite Conclave is here, or people in North EMEA. You recognize a message. One of the king's council members there as well from North EMEA. The surprising thing is that you don't see a lot of people from Galfrin.
That's not surprising.
Well, I mean, there are people from there is an Erudite Conclave branch in Galfrin.
Mm-hmm. So we don't see anybody at all.
Anybody at all?
They're all cultists.
Yep.
Don't say it.
Sorry,
I mean,
I had to.
Would people from Galfrin really want to be in a gathering of so many different races?
Never know.
Y'all can crack fun all you like, and I walk away from them.
I'm being serious.
I know, but I'm personally insulted.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Bashlor.
You gonna go up to Bashlor?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who else to talk to.
That's fair.
I wave at
Isn't this
Necros.
kind of like everybody's just like talking in their own little groups, or like because I see these guys are in the middle. Are they about to like give a speech?
Yeah, you're going down just as the groups are kind of all gathering and getting ready. You can tell that people are starting to make their way to seats, and the meeting is going to begin fairly soon. It's like it's like when a big gathering of people are getting together, they're not quite ready to start the meeting yet, so they're all just kind of meeting one another again, talking, that sort of thing.
All right. So then I'll just go up to Bashlor and give him a little tip of my hat, and then say, "I'm sorry about your druids in Coltrast."
Master Sykes, it's a pleasure to see you again. I've heard quite a bit about your exploits when you returned to Coltrast. Thank you for your sympathies. It's concerning to say the least. Part of the reason I'm here is because of what's happened in Coltrast and the death of the druids under me. But it's good to see that your group is here as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you're all right. I was kind of shake his hand. I'm ready for this to start.
Yep. You shake his hand, and Master Ohm nods his head at you as well and says, "We'll be beginning here soon. Why don't you go find your seats?"
Yarp.
You see Master Ohm walk out into the center of the arena, holding his hands up, and the crowd begins to hush. People slowly start making their way to their seats, but a few people still remain on their feet near the edge of the sparring area. Once everybody is finally sat down, Master Ohm snaps his fingers and kind of calls everybody to attention. He calls out, "By now, everyone has had a chance to review the dossier the Conclave has gathered on this cult of the Dreamer. We are taking this attack on this branch's location as evidence that the cult is now preparing to attempt this ritual that they've devised to find a way to open a portal to the Dreaming Realm. and release the being known as the Dreamer, whom they worship. We've called all of you here today to discuss this matter in detail and to come to an accord on how to proceed. Now, unfortunately, we've received word from Egelian Marley, the chief archivist at the Delta Conclave branch in Berlina, that there was an attack on the Crypt of the Kaisers.
Oh,
And
so that's why they're not here.
the moment you hear that, yeah, you're like, Berlina, that's the capital city of Gulfrin. And you've also heard of the Crypt of the Kaisers. Go ahead and make a history check.
Yay. History. +0 to this. Pray for
Can
me.
I make a check?
You're a studied individual, why not?
Mhm.
Hell yeah, he says in +10, 25.
It wasn't a difficult DC to remember this, but a 9 is still pretty damn low. But but Corrin, you're easily able to lean over and whisper to Ichabod that the Crypt of the Kaisers is the ancient tomb of the kings in Gulfrin. It's where each member of the royal family is interred. Ohm continues on saying, now this attack, during this attack, there are also strategic attacks throughout the city of Berlina, and we believe that these were used to distract the guards of that city from the cult's true objective. Now, we were in negotiations with the Kaiser, Frederick Wittenauer III, to allow a team of field researchers into the crypt, where we believed a dream root was located. Unfortunately for us, the Dreamers decided to take a much more direct route to claim it. Given this report and what has happened here yesterday evening, we now have evidence that the cult is in possession of 5 dream roots, as well as at least 2 dream seeds, one taken from the very vault below. Based on the information gathered by senior field researcher Tomas Rothen, we believe that this is all the cult needs to attempt their arcane ritual. Chief Archivist Selthardash, why don't you go ahead and go next? Ohm steps to the side, and you recognize the bronze-scaled Dragonborn, who is the leader here in this branch of the Conclave. The Dragonborn walks up into the center of the arena. He's kind of holding the hem of his robes up out of the sand as he walks, and it's kind of comical to watch. But once he gets to the center, he calls out to the group. We have now had confirmation that the Cult of the Dreamer has been kidnapping well-placed individuals and corrupting their minds, allowing them to access both governmental and private organizations. We've discovered that members of the Conclave has had this done to them as well, which is how we believe they gained access to this storage facility underneath the archive. We've been able to compile a list of names, and thanks to interrogation and investigation into the Conclave members who had suicided or fled during the attack, we are in the process of rounding up any remaining members of the Cult of the Dreamer. But with the attacks on this branch of the Conclave and the one in the Crypt of Berlina, we now know that the cult possesses the dream roots found in Feyweave Hollow, Weston, the Crypt of the Kaisers, and the vault in Rowena. We also believe that they have recovered the one from the shipwreck of the Grey Squall. The Conclave expedition that was sent to recover this route from the Grey Skull is still missing and is believed to be missing in action. Now, unfortunately, we have received confirmed reports from every kingdom and sovereign body that people from nearly every social group and demographic in just about every city on Loroupa have been disappearing from their homes. And even more so now, seem to be migrating on foot and heading towards the Margarden Federation. This includes even nobles and city guards. So I'm sure you can all imagine what constabulary remains in these cities are working to keep order as best as they can from all indications they are at least partially achieving this. But the disappearance of this many people all at once has caused chaos throughout all of the realms. Senior Researcher Tomas Rothen, can you please get up and deliver your report next? You see Tomas stand up from his bench. He walks past you all, and as he does, he gives your group a nod.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'll wave.
Yeah, is this just an acknowledgement nod, or is this like a do something nod?
No, it's just an acknowledgement nod.
Okay. Hi.
Unless there's something you want to do.
No, I've just been...
He was nodding to us to kill
It's
everybody.
a y'all some real G's nod.
Now, once Tomas steps out into the center of the training ground, he says, "Well, my name is Tomas Rothen, and I am the senior field researcher stationed in Port Valena. I was the one who first discovered the cult of the Dreamer in Granny Vika. And I was the one who first placed the report of their activities in the Conclave's hands. Now, I was able to track this cult from Ranivika through the Church of the Five, and all the way to the head of the church, Head Priestess Ivik Abir. Throughout my investigations, I've also uncovered the proof that the cult of the Dreamer has been kidnapping people, and through the use of Lamia magic and investiture in beholderkin creatures, they have been robbing people of their minds and their will. Now, after Abir and her inner circle left Revancia on the back of a pair of blue dragons, I decided to sneak into her villa and, take a look around. There I found documents hidden in an underground arcane workshop containing parts of a blueprint and arcane computations far more advanced than something I can work out on my own. But it seemed to be notes on the construction of an arcane device and a magical ritual to correspond with it. Now, we've been able to determine that the invention of this device has been a joint collaboration between a chronology wizard from the Institute Arcanum known as Jadar Brightscale and an enchanter from Port Valena named Robert Mitchell. From what I understand, our arcane researchers here at the Conclave, assisted by Mr. Corrin Hassan of the adventuring team out of Coltrast, have some very, very disturbing findings. Now, after delivering this information to the Conclave, I decided to investigate more into Abir's past to see if I could determine where they were planning on doing the ritual. Since Abir took her vows at the convent of Jorun in Ranivika, I decided to infiltrate both the convent and the temple using a team of adventurers. And he nods at your group once again. All eyes kind of turn towards you and regard you for a few moments before Tomas continues.
I take my hat off.
I blow them all a kiss.
Of course you do. Now, inside the convent, I discovered correspondence between the Reverend Mother Dominica and High Priestess Abir that was able to determine that after leaving Rowena, Abir traveled back to the Umbra Spire in the Jutla Wastes. We also discovered what appeared to be a breeding laboratory to create beholderkin underneath the convent. And the moment he says this, like, people actually get up and start shouting questions.
Oh, yeah.
There's quite a bit of commotion, and it takes a while for everyone to quiet down before Ohm just, like, gets into the middle of the room and smacks his hands together, creating a loud boom. No, it is, we need to quiet down now. Everyone quiet down. And, Tomas finally, once everyone's quiet, Tomas says, now, Master Uly's Truss, he's a wizard that lives in Rani Vika. He has a little bit more information. Master Truss, please. And you do see Master Truss, who you've met before, stand up from the opposite side of the room. Truss calls out, upon questioning from the Erudite Conclave, I went to go and see what was going on in the monastery. I'm someone who lives in Rani Vika. I'm well known in the community, so I felt that it would not be too much of a worry for me to do so. Unfortunately, when I arrived, I discovered that the nuns in the monastery have disappeared. And they also found that the monks and clerics at the Temple of Joru are all dead.
Uh-oh.
Ichabod stands up and then sits back down.
It's okay, Ichabod. I know their beer was great.
That was not okay. That is not okay. Even Butters?
I think they mean even Butters.
Alright, I stand up and I pace.
You stand up and you start pacing around, and everyone's just like kind of watching you a little bit.
I sit back down.
Truss is still talking, and you kind of miss a little bit of what he says. Mm-hmm. But then by the time you start listening again, he's listing out names of other people who are currently missing from Rani Vika, including members of the Trade Association, the Hospitality Guild, and several noblemen. He also mentions that the sheriff of Rani Vika, Shava Osav, and half of her guard are missing out of Rani Vika completely. Once Master Truss sits back down, Master Ohm stands up and he takes the floor once again. You see him look around as he kind of just does this little pace in the center of the room. And you see him look very deeply into a very regal-looking dwarf in a lot of noble finery, surrounded by an entourage of other dwarves. He then turns to the people you know from North Amia, and a few other members of the crowd as well. He addresses the representatives of the Kingdom of Hyrulean and Radagast, as well as the Emperor of Dorne, and then he regards the Archdruids from the Druid Grove. He says, given the gravity of the situation, the Conclave leadership has voted to invoke the Erudite Accords and request aid from the signatory nations and groves to address this threat. We understand that this is a complicated request, but time is of the essence. From what the arcane researchers have been able to determine, we have no more than 5 days to stop the Cult of the Dreamer from completing their ritual and opening a portal to the Dream Realm. Members of the Erudite Accords, what say you? One by one, you watch as nations stand up and give these reports on the state of their nation. Their reports are fairly similar. Most countries' capitals had strange attacks throughout the night that rallied their guards to deal with minor issues, but by the time things had quieted down, people were just gone. Some disappeared completely, others just started leaving the cities and making their way south. One by one, the nations agree to assist and to commit troops to join the force that is already gathered in a city called Weston, which, if anyone wants to, you can make a history check.
Yes, indeedy.
I'll try. 16. That's not too bad. Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Natural 1 for an 11.
Your failure made me even happier than my 16.
Of course it did.
So Ichabod, you recognize Weston. It's a small trade city, a farming community in the Darwin Empire. It's actually not far from Ranivika itself. Just across, not only across the river, but also across the political borders.
So there's nobody here to speak for Golfrin. Am I right?
I wonder why.
Well, we've established why, that they were just, like, attacked, but, like... So, do I know, are they a part of these accords? Or are they, like...
That's
not this treaty?
that's gonna be another
part
history
of the
check.
Cult of the Dreamer.
I will attempt to know. It was 17.
They are indeed members of the Erudite Accords. That's why there's a branch established in Berlina.
Mm-hmm.
But based on what you're hearing from just the chaos that happened in the city and the attacks, that's probably why there aren't representatives from Golfrin there. Also, you just know that as a community itself, Golfrin's not too keen to help other nations, especially other mixed nations as these other groups are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's nobody here to agree or disagree.
They racist AF, for real, for real.
Now, as you're kind of contemplating that, you see Bachelor Grigg stand up next and address the collective. He says, "The Druid Groves are agreed to honor the Erudite Accords, but the situation in Coltrast must be addressed as well. My research has led me to believe that the beholder known as Veritude was using the root to connect its conscience with the Dream Realm, no doubt to commune with this entity known as the Dreamer. The cult attacked the town not 3 days ago, cutting off passage from the keep to the underground grove. We must determine what else the cult did down there, whether or not the druids left there are still alive, and for what purpose the cult destroyed those tunnels. The secret of the Cult of the Dreamer could very well be the key to unraveling this cult's ritual." with that stated, Master Ohm, like you hear a bunch more people start calling out. Well, what about the chaos in North Amia? What about the chaos in Rani Vika? What about this? What about that?
Mhm.
Master Ohm silences everyone. He informs them that the council are already planning on sending a team to investigate the underground grove. Volunteers will be accepted, and then he calls out, "Do we have anyone here among the senior field researchers who are willing to take on this responsibility?" And it probably doesn't surprise any of you to see Tomas Rothen stand up. He says, "Well, this isn't exactly what I was wanting to do, but given what I've learned from the Baron there and the team of adventurers I've worked with, I feel like this is something that needs to be done." So he turns and he looks at your group. You all live there. You all have been down there. Will you accept this task and find out?
Get you in there.
So does accepting this make it so that we cannot go to the Umber Spire where the ritual is going to happen? Or is this like, because we got 5 days before they do that?
Are you asking that out loud?
I think she's asking you.
Yeah,
as
are
the
you
DM.
asking me that?
The DM, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, they're asking you to go deal with that. Now, you do know that the cult has 5 days to complete that ritual. So, could you get to Coltrast and deal with the threat, and then make your way to the Umber Spire? Possibly. Very easily could.
Teleportation.
Yeah, you have the
Okay.
teleportation spell. You can
Yeah,
get to a lot of
I
places.
just want to be clear that it's not like choose one or the other, save your town or try to stop the ritual, you know?
No, this
Okay,
isn't.
okay.
This is a clear and present threat that we need to find out what's going on now. So
You
that's
had
why
the chance and you missed it, Matt.
Yeah.
What?
You had the chance and you missed it.
I had the chance and I missed what?
You called it a clear and present threat when clearly it's a clear and present danger.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. So terrorists is... Okay. So...
But yes. So does kind of clarify this. It is going to take some time to get all of the armies into the Margarden Federation. We while the druids are willing to assist and can assist with troop teleportation via plants and things like that, it will take at least a couple days to gather the armies and get them into Weston. From that point on, we will have to cross the river to march south towards the Umber Spire itself. But with the use of magic, we shouldn't take more than a couple days from there.
All right, down to the wire. Of course, I'll help save Coltrast. Obviously, I don't know. I kind of have an idea, but I don't know if it's feasible. Which is like, so I get the sense that Golfrin is not going to help, but could I send a message or have Corrin send a message to somebody of the Fists of the Father to see if they would send people to help?
I mean, you certainly have the ability to do so.
Yeah, I would like to offer that as I just want to do something. You know, I want to help.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're good strategists. So.
See,
Yeah.
right now my mind is just going through all of the ways of, oh yeah, we'll send a message to somebody who could be the enemy and let them in on our plans.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the enemy have gone walking to the Margarden Federation for the ritual. So.
Fair.
That's kind of what the gist I'm getting.
That's fair.
Send it to Zeal.
Yeah.
My character from the 4th of July thing.
Oh god, freaking Mulligan.
Yeah.
Ohm tells in response to asking about reaching out to other groups, absolutely. If you have ties to anybody who you can call on to request aid, please feel free to do so. Our plan is to attack the Cult of the Dreamer army directly, to send advanced troops in who are more stealthy in nature to try to disrupt what's going on and get into the tree itself, while the main army deals with the much larger threat of the cult army. We are going to be planning multiple tiered assaults on the Umber Spire, at which point every group that is willing to assist will be given tasks to complete that. And so, yes, absolutely. Once your group deals with whatever is going on in Coltrast, we will greatly appreciate your aid attacking the Umber Spire itself.
Okay.
Sweet.
And he says that to pretty much everybody as well. If your group knows people that can assist, that can help out, send your messages. Gather as many allies as you can, because this is kind of the threat you have to deal with. And
this is
it's
it.
huge.
The final battle. Well, I know a guy who's really powerful, and his name is Commander Lorient. Strongest guy I know. We can get him into the fight.
They're done for.
I'm not even joking. I love that guy.
Yeah, why not?
I was wanting to ask if they have spies in, looking at the Umber Spire right now. If they, know what it looks like over there.
Or wizards to scry on it.
We do have wizards scrying on the Umber Spire. Yes, unfortunately, we cannot scry on whatever ritual chamber is there. We have not been able to find it so far. We're fairly certain they are actively repelling scrying, but we are able to see the layout of the field around the spire itself and where the army is located.
Well, I asked nature to show me a little bit of what's going on there. I don't think I have much more information than your wizards could glean, but it doesn't look good.
No, it does not. This concludes this war council. Representatives of the nations, report back to your superiors. Send the troops to Weston. Those of you with your specific assignments, good luck and Godspeed. Groups seem to be dispersing, and you see a lot of the leadership of the Erudite Conclave meeting together to divvy out assignments to their various field researchers and members and so on and so forth. Tomas walks over and joins your group, and he says, "Hope you don't mind me volunteering to go on this. I like your little city, and that kid that's running it, he's not bad."
Oh yeah, Edmund's he's a good kid, deep down. I wouldn't say he always makes
good all around. Not
Don't you talk badly about my son
I was
like
not.
that.
I just said he was a good kid, deep in his heart.
Deep down.
And
I think he's a good kid on the outside too.
And like everybody else, he makes mistakes here and there, But we'll leave that for later.
Well, I mean, he's 14.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I was 14, I was a real little asshole. I made a lot of bad decisions. Still making them. But anyway, Tomas, thank you for caring about our little town.
Yeah, I've been tracking this cult for a while now. Their movements, the things they do, it always seems odd and doesn't make a lot of sense, but I've come to the conclusion that everything they're doing is for a reason. So, if they collapse the tunnel to an area they had been going in, and they attacked your keep for the sole purpose of doing that, there's something more going on.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think you're right. And say if we all survive this, maybe you can move into a nice little mansion that we got sitting empty in Coltrane.
There are like 4 of them.
We really need to raise the market value in Coltrane, so we need some new people to move in to really stimulate the economy.
We can get you a good deal on one of those mansions.
Yeah, a really good deal.
Low interest.
Yeah, first we have to live. So.
Yeah, that's true. First, we have to live through all this, but you never know. I'm getting up there in years. I wouldn't mind retiring at some point. Maybe Coltrast wouldn't be a horrible place to do that.
I try to hide how happy that makes me.
Hey, I mean, if he's, as smart as I think that he is, then, getting a cushy, temp job as, the advisor to Edmund.
Yeah.
I
just want to come back in campaign 2 to Coltrast, and it's like a bustling metropolis.
Well, we'll see what happens in the game, I guess.
And my school is like one of the most prestigious.
People hang around Blaznir's statue in the park to smoke and drink underage.
Exactly, it's so
Probably.
Cool. It gets vandalized every day.
It's already vandalized. What are you talking about?
You made it vandalized.
I was the one that vandalized it.
Probably. Well, as the meetings begin to break up and people seem to be heading out, Tomas says, I think it's probably a good idea if we have a meeting ourselves just to discuss what the plan is once we head over to Coltrast. Why don't we find a place and get some refreshments?
All right.
Sure.
There is a small cafeteria in the conclave. There's also a bar there, just in the training ground itself, that has drinks, and Tomas actually leads you over to the bar. Walks right behind it. There's a bartender there, but he just nods at Tomas and walks off. And Tomas grabs a pretty big bottle of whiskey, sets it on the table, and throws out some glasses and starts pouring for everybody.
Nice. I do what I always do, which is immediately down the whole first one and then set it down for a refill, and then I sip that one.
Wow.
Tomas actually does the same thing. He throws back one and pours himself another as well.
You always just got to get yourself started.
After dealing with this cult for as long as I have, drinks are encouraged. No doubt about that. Well,
there's plenty of other vices we could have.
I'll just down a drink and then look at Tomas, and if he looks quizzically at me, and I won't say anything about the cult, but I'll just look at him and go, I know what's waiting on the other side.
Yeah, don't worry about him. He says weird stuff like that all the time.
He's a strange dude.
I wouldn't worry too much.
I'm gonna have Tomas roll an insight check.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to lean forward and be like, he acts real pretentious because he's died before.
Nat 20 for a 28.
I'm being completely serious. I mean,
I know, I'm just being funny.
I've died before, and I know what's waiting.
Yeah,
it's like that hyper emo kid who just always says something really dark, and you're like, anyway.
Okay, sport. Clap, clap, clap.
Yeah, he's like, just like the ebony color of my soul. We're like, all right, kid. Anyway.
But yeah, after taking his first drink, slamming it down, pouring it a second, he takes another sip, and he tells you all, I don't know about y'all, but I used up a lot of my potions and a few spell components while we were fighting between the convent and your keep. God, I wish we could. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we could stay and restock.
Doing okay, but if y'all need to, I can take us somewhere.
Well,
I have 3 on me right now, so I'm fine.
well, I'm planning on gathering some supplies here from the Conclave. I'm a senior field researcher. I have access to a lot of stuff that Lapis here probably doesn't. I can probably round up a few things. I don't know what all they might have in the archive, but I can ask around a little bit.
Okay, Grandpa.
If you could you get me some diamonds, either like diamond dust or just actual diamonds for revivify and greater restoration purposes? If it's possible.
I can see what they've got. How much do you
no
have?
worries
Any?
if not.
Do you have any at all?
I have 3 revivifies on me. I'm mostly looking for the greater restoration.
Okay. I can ask around, see if I can find some diamond dust. That's fairly easy to acquire here.
I think health potions would be really nice, and I know this is probably asking too much, but I used to have this thing, and it was really awesome. It was this immovable rod, and somebody stole it from me.
Where did that go?
Remember, I used it to shut that door, and then the guy just took it off and ran away.
Yeah, that's right, they did.
It was like I just used it the one time, but it really made me feel good to have it in my back pocket just in case something were to come up where it might be really good. I just like having the option. So if they got one sitting down there collecting dust, I may or may not put it to good use should the situation arise.
Oh, Lordy. And you say I'm the strange one.
I'm thinking about this movable rod.
I'll see what I can find.
Leave a comment as to who you think is the strangest one in the party.
I did just like having it. I feel like every once in a while a puzzle shows up that you can just be like a movable rod.
Yeah,
and it's awesome every time. And it's not really a strong item. It's just a rod.
Some diamond dust, an immovable rod, and some health potions. I can probably find most of that. Anything else you think your group is lacking or could use?
I could probably use some javelins.
Is it gonna take him time to gather all of this, I assume?
Time meaning like maybe an hour or two, not like a day or two.
Well, no, but if I have an hour, then I can re-summon my familiar.
Yeah, you would have time to summon your familiar while Tomas is gathering things up.
Cool, sweet.
Tomas, does the Conclave have any information on how potentially to break these people's mind controls? Because it's been eating at me this entire time we've been fighting them. I don't like having to kill them, rather
do you think something like a remove curse could work?
Well, I think I can figure out who to ask at least.
Right. I tried to heal one, but just the amulet broke, and that was it, and kind of made me feel a little worse,
What spell did you use?
I think it was just a spell magic.
Oh.
I think spell magic or lesser restoration, but I think it was spell magic.
I think that was the spell magic, and that's why the amulet broke.
But, I think maybe there was a spell placed on them or something. So,
let me. Hey, Gank, come over here for a second. And you notice Corrin, the half orc female wizard that had been working with you on the chronomancy math. She comes walking over and, what do you need, Rothan? Oh, we were just talking about this compulsion that the cult seems to be putting on all of their members, or at least some of their members, the ones they steal and kidnap and all that. You know of any magic that might be able to, remove that? I'm gonna have her
Go.
Make an Arcana check.
I gotta say, Matt, when I was doing my assisting with the research,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining at least one of those guys, even if he didn't say it out loud. It's that scene from Good Will Hunting where the guy who's devoted his entire life to math is like, I wish I'd never met you.
Yeah, kinda. With an 18, she thinks about it for a little bit, and she says, I can think of one or two spells. Remove Curse is a possibility, and Greater Restoration.
All right.
Those are both divine spells, are they not?
Well, remove curse at least is greater restoration. Almost certain.
Greater Restoration is a divine spell. Remove Curse is an abjuration
remove
spell.
Curse is on the wizard's list, so I can learn that.
Mhm.
Then
I know it, so I could teach you.
yeah, I would say some way for me to add that to my spell book should be added to the list of whatever we're grabbing.
We've established that we can write our own spell scrolls.
So yes, but you are a divine caster. He is an arcane caster. You could create a divine scroll, but he would not be able to copy that into his spell because you do it a different way than he does.
Oh, I thought it was just...
Yeah, no.
If the spell is on your list, then you can...
It's weird and squiffy, but honestly, it's supposed to be a divine cat. He could not put a like the spell bless in his spell book or stuff like that.
So I'll just ask Tomas if they can get me a wizard scroll of remove curse then to copy into my book, or just somebody else's book to copy it from.
I can add that to the list as well. Is there anything else that you can think of that you might need?
Is there anything, I guess, that we could use to combat ourselves potentially being mind controlled?
There are things like amulets that can stop things from infecting your mind or reading your thoughts. They are typically attuned items, however.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I should be okay for a while, but the rest of you, maybe not.
So protection from evil and good is something that can do this for a short amount of time. So maybe some scrolls of protection from evil and good? First level spell?
Okay. Yeah, I will head down to the scroll archive and see what they have.
Sure.
I'm fine with one of those amulets that protects you, but, either one.
Yeah, if you have the attunement slots.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's either Hat of Disguise or that, and I'd
Yeah.
rather not be mind controlled ever.
Yeah, I think that's better.
But with the Hat of Disguise, they won't know who they're mind controlling.
Oh no! You're right. How I forget that. Give me the amulet.
Matt.
Yeah.
Bio break.
Yep, let's go ahead and do that now. We got a few minutes left, but this will give me a chance to look up something real quick. So why don't we go ahead and take our 10-minute break, folks. When we return, we will get back into this and see what the Debauchery Circus gets up to before they head to Contrast. Stay tuned. Howdy everybody, we are back. And when we last left off, the Debauchery Circus was discussing the plan to return to Contrast and to get back into the underground grove. And they were doing it over drinks, which is pretty much on par for this group.
Mm-hmm.
So you're all sitting around, drinking drinks, discussing what objects you might need. Tomas takes a list and says he's going to do what he can and see what he can find. And he heads off to do so. People are mingling. There are still people about the Conclave right now. There's still the restoration effort going on. But other than that, you really don't have a lot that you have to do. No, Blaznir, the Conclave does not have a book on how to become a lich.
No, but they probably have books about liches. You know,
They
describing
do have
what lichdom is, because it's a whole research facility. Why wouldn't they have that?
Well, you can certainly ask. Go ahead, and if you want to try to find some research on that, make a persuasion check.
Lol. I heard that
There's-
the
trying to
Conclave
decide on
might have
what I
a
actually want
lich
to do.
working for them.
No.
So,
14 for persuasion. That's bad for me.
Yeah, that actually is bad for you. And the research liaison that's working with your group is kind of surprised by that and says, okay, well, I'll see what I can find, and goes off to see what research she can get. About 20 minutes or so later, she shows up with a book that gives some very general descriptions on liches, talks about how they have to separate their soul from their body to remain animated beyond death. It's the book definitely talks about lichdom in a very negative sense. It talks about it as though it's a curse. It's something that people inflict upon themselves when their egos are too strong and their hubris is too much, and they try to survive beyond their natural lifespan.
so you split your soul into 7 parts
Mm-hmm.
until a little British boy comes and destroys them all.
Pretty much.
I'm just gonna redo it. It's like, if you become a powerful enough lich, druid, you just kind of, become long living. I don't think it's really an ego thing, because druids aren't.
Case, but like in the becoming a lich thing.
Liches aren't long-lived, they're immortal, so
They're
that's
dead.
the difference.
I mean, an elf druid might as well be immortal.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's also this little line in the very back of the book that says, "Liches are bitches."
Oh, okay, calm down. All right.
Wow. I didn't come here to read his
This guy
propaganda.
said the B word.
It's written in a book in flowing scrawl by someone who made a notation.
Wow. Nice. They graffitied the book.
Yep.
I was also wanting to meet the archdruids if they're still around.
Okay. Asking around, there are still a couple of them who haven't left yet. It seems like they're getting information from the Conclave and kind of coming up with a battle plan, because from what you gather, the Druid Groves are going to be serving to be troop transports, for lack of a better term. They're going to be assisting in getting everybody to where they need to be. But there are a couple of them that are still around. Let's take a look here. Yeah, there is. There are 2 of them currently still in attendance. There is a half-elf from Feywatch Cove and a gnome from Feymark Plains who are still kind of doing the whole coordination thing. What do you want to talk to them about?
They're both still busy?
Busy-ish, yeah. They're still coordinating with the Conclave people, but like they're if you ask to speak with one of them, the liaison will go and ask them.
Well, because I just want to do a meet and greet. So
I'm
it's
such a
really
big fan.
important. I mean, honestly, kind of. It's like, these are people, Blaznir's, heard about his entire life. Like, he would like to meet them now that he has a chance, but if they're busy, he's just going to be, like, when you see, some celebrity across the way, you're just like, oh, I kind of want to say hi, but I think that's rude.
So are you going to go talk to him or not?
I'll talk to whoever doesn't seem as busy.
Okay. You see after a moment that the gnome kind of completes the meeting with whatever member they're talking to and begins walking away, and you spot your opportunity to go talk to him.
I'm just semi-casually, meet their pace and be like, "Hi, I'm Blaznir. I'm a druid from more north, a smaller grove. Hi."
The little man is a gnome. He looks ancient in the gnomish fashion. Very, very wrinkled skin, large bulbous nose, dark hair though, like pure black hair that seems to be woven with strands of red ribbons and vines. He looks up at you, and he continues to look up at you because you're almost 7 feet tall, and this is a gnome, so he's like a little 3 foot tall dude. He looks up at you and says, "Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. My name is my name is Oren Baron. It's good to meet you, Blaznir."
Oren Baron, it's an honor to be able to meet someone so esteemed as yourself.
You said you're from a smaller grove to the north. Which one is that?
I can't remember the name off the top of my head. They didn't really do much. It's much smaller. They didn't really interact with many other groves. But
It's this grove in Canada. You've totally never met them.
Yeah, it's more of a
The only one I can think of is Feywalker's Glen. That's one. I don't know which one you're from.
Yeah, Feywalker's Glen. That's the closest one to Coltrast. Where Matt
that's where
that's
that's
from.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Brandie isn't from any of the bigger ones. It's more of a, group of, I guess, wild druids. That but
it's just a bunch of hippies living in the woods.
pretty
It's a
much.
commune.
Call themselves a druid grove.
It's a commune.
Yeah, like
they're
they're
not actually
technically
even
a
druids.
grove,
They just
but
smoke a bunch of pot.
But
Blaznir.
I've heard stories of the bigger groves, and I just I honestly was kind of excited to meet someone who came from one of them.
Well, the larger groves are a very large responsibility. The portal to the Feywild travels between all of the major groves on Loroupa. So we have our interesting times, to be sure. But it's good to know that there are druids out there not affiliated with the grove that's still dealing with the affairs of the world and is willing to step out and help out when issues like the Dreamer cult presents.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to them for some time, but I definitely don't want this to go down. My friend has seen visions of them, and it's not pretty, from what I've heard. But I'm honestly kind of glad that bigger groves haven't been corrupted by this cult. I was honestly a little bit worried that they might be, because we've seen some druids in the cult, and that's not fun, to say the least.
I've heard about that. I can't say that the druid groves have been completely blameless as well. Some of our members from several groves have disappeared in relation to the cult. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like they've done much more than try to find out what we're doing, studying our ways, that sort of thing. The Dreaming Tree itself has never been connected to our society. To be honest, up until recently, most of us just assumed it was a myth. But, well,
I wish it was a myth.
If there are more druids out there who are worshiping this dreamer as well, it's something all of us must take responsibility for.
I agree. Can I ask you, have you ever been to the Feywild? This has nothing to do with anything else. I was just curious, honestly. Are you able to like? Really?
I have several
What's it like
times.
there?
It's very beautiful, very chaotic. When the portal reaches a grove, the archdruid of that grove is responsible for meeting with the Seelie and Unseelie courts and establishing or re-establishing diplomatic relations, so on and so forth.
So you've met some of the Archfey there?
I have indeed. I have to deal with them once every few cycles.
I could only dream to do such a thing. That's. I've only heard stories of Feywild myself. It seems like such a. I kind of want to visit there one day, but more pressing matters.
Well, once all this business is done with the Dreamer cult, why don't you make a trip out to Feymark Plains and see what it is we do out there?
Yeah, I might just do that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. If you couldn't tell.
He pats you on your knee, which is about his size. Not to worry, Blaznir. We all have things we need to get to, and I need to get on my way to it. But it was very good to meet you.
It was really honor to meet you. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want him to sign something, or like?
Yeah. Could you
want to get like a photo?
Could you sign my leaf, please?
Takes off his tunic. Could you sign my chest?
I'll get it tattooed.
Now this is just getting a bit weird for me. I'm gonna go ahead and do it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. No. I'm stupid.
We got a new person in chat saying, "Call me Raz." Howdy, Rabs. Howdy, Raz. Good to meet you.
Hello.
So Matt.
Yes.
This place has a teleportation circle, and Coltras has a teleportation circle. Could we get them to send us to Coltras once Tomas is done? That way we can talk to people there too.
Yeah. So I mean, teleportation circles aren't like, it's not like a transporter pad where you step into it and it goes.
But they've got people who like send you, right?
Yeah, they have people who can cast the spell for you. That way you can go to wherever.
Yeah, just that way we don't have to like waste two teleportations, if that's even possible with Corrin, to teleport to Coltras and then to teleport down there, and we can still talk to NPCs without just going straight there.
Yeah, you can absolutely get them to teleport you to Coltras or wherever you're wanting to go. This is serious situation time. So they're working with their members and with their mercenary agents such as yourselves to get people to where they need to be.
Yeah. So when Tomas gets back with all the stuff that he was planning to grab, I will suggest that to the group so that way we can talk to Edmund and I can talk to my family and, just kind of be like, we're going on a dangerous mission. Goodbye, maybe.
Hopefully not goodbye, but,
Well, I gotta try just in case it is goodbye.
Don't worry, if it is goodbye, I'll just bring you back. You're not gonna die that easily.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll just kill me again.
Why do you think I bought the components for reincarnation?
I've just come pretty close these last two fights, so I don't want my sons to suddenly lose me and not know what happened, I want to tell them we've got a mission and, we're trying to finish it.
The fate of the world is at stake.
We would make sure that they would at least get your hat if you fall in battle.
Yeah, the hat's the important part.
Yeah, you just wear the hat so often, and you kind of.
I wear my cape and my weapons pretty often too.
But that's not nearly important as your hat.
I also sometimes I put some beard oil in my beard. Do you want to give that to?
Okay, what do you want me to give your kids? Just tell me.
I look at Blaznir gravely serious, and I say, just tell him I love him. And then I go back to drinking my whiskey.
I will make sure you can tell them that you love them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not falling.
It's too hard for me to do it, Blaznir. I think I want you to actually tell me.
You want me to, like, cast Charm Person? You know?
No. That's okay. No. It's alright.
I will. I will. I can, you know, alter your brain a little bit to be able to make, you know, say it to them.
Listen, I said it to Ishmael, and he said okay.
And it nearly broke you.
And that was I tried really hard, and I was quite wasted at the time. But he did say okay back. So, and that hurt. That hurt more than anything that I've fought in battle. I don't think I can take that again.
I don't think
I know he hates me. I just hope that if I were to die, you know, that wouldn't be all he remembered of me.
See, now I'm just imagining the teenager where their parent goes, "I love you," and they're just like, "Whatever."
Whatever. He swerved me.
It always stabs a parent right in the chest when they do that. Right in the chest.
Whatever. And because in that moment I said it because I thought I was gonna die. Like, I was like, I came so close to dying. He doesn't know. So that's why I'm like, I need to tell him that we are, you know, fighting this cult and stuff. So
Like,
that
I don't care, bro.
Because probably all he thinks is my dad's fucking gallivanting around like I had done before. He's just, you know, running around doing God knows what, killing things because he's the way he is.
Because God told him to.
Yeah, because God told him to. It's all he cares about is a stupid oath. And like, yeah, I do.
Basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after a bit of time, Tomas comes and finds you again. It's been about an hour and a half or so since him leaving you, and he walks in carrying a very large satchel with a staff sticking out of it. He has another one on his back. He says, "Well, it wasn't a lot of things down there, but I was able to find a few interesting items." He rummages through it, and first thing he brings out is just a small, it's almost like, you know, those old-timey milk crates, just a wooden box with slats in between it. He lifts this thing out, and it's kind of clink, 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 and you count in total that there are 15 potions there.
Ooh, 15 health potions or various?
He said, yeah, these are the health potions that I was able to gather up. There are a lot of people who are asking for them, so I kind of had to, you know, pull some strings to get these, but I do have a few. He has in total 6 moderate healing potions, 6 greater healing potions, and 3 superior healing potions.
Wow.
Dang.
All right. How do we want to try to divvy these?
I would say,
I have
we should get the big ones.
Yeah. So, because I have 3 lesser, 2 moderate. I would definitely take a superior.
Yeah, I have
And then however
3
many
moderate.
greater.
I have 3 moderate on me, so.
Tomas used all of his potions in this last battle.
Yeah, all I
Okay.
have is 3 moderate.
Yeah, so Tomas should take, I don't know, 3 moderate ones, 1 or 2 greater, 2 greater, if he has none.
Okay, 2 greater and 3 moderate for him.
I think that sounds fair.
I mean, if he has none, then you
Yeah.
know, he's.
We
up
know
to
he has a
with you
decent
guys.
amount of hit points. Yeah.
He's got decent hit points, and he does have some magical spells, so that works for him.
So superior is what? 5d4? 6d4?
God, I'm blanking on it. Hold on.
Because greater is 4d4.
I just had it pulled up too, and I closed it out. So greater is 4d4 plus 4. The superior is 5d4 plus 5.
Okay. Four plus 5. So then we'll give another superior to Lapis, and that's all 3 of those. So me, Lapis, and Tomas.
Okay.
And then there's 4 greater left.
I guess I'll take one of those.
How much healing is a superior?
5d4 plus 5.
No, superior. Yes, superior is 5d4 plus 5. Yes.
Yeah. So do you have any health potions, Lapis, other than that superior?
I have 4 moderate health potions. I think I'm good though, as long as we can like put some, in the maybe in the
Well, why don't you take like 2 of the greater, and then I'll take the last one, right?
Okay.
Because that's 2 for Tomas, 2 for Lapis, 1 for Corrin, 1 for me.
Yeah.
And then how many are left on the moderate? We gave him
3.
So there's 3 left. You guys can divvy those out however you.
Then how much is the greater?
44 plus 4.
It's 4.
And then moderate would be 3d4, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take one more moderate if I can have it. But
Sure. And then Corrin, do you want the last 2, or do you think you just need 1?
I think I'm okay.
Then I'll take the last 2.
I rarely get hit anyway, so
All right.
I mean,
All right. What else you got in that bag, Tomas?
Me?
Let's see it.
The next thing he pulls out is the staff that was in the bag, and he places it down. He says, "This is called a staff of defense." I didn't know, Corrin, if this might work out for you or if anyone else.
Ooh.
But it allows you to cast mage armor and shield out of it.
Is it attunement?
Yes, it is attunement.
Yes.
most likely.
It is
Yeah,
plus 1 to AC. Sure. Yeah, I'll take that sucker.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Cool.
Okay, he places that down. He says, after that, let's see here. He pulls out 2 wands. Now, this wand here is a wand of secrets. I know what this does. It looks for traps and hidden doors, that sort of thing. This one, however, I picked up from R&D. I'm not entirely sure what it does. And the label on it said that they kind of didn't either.
You don't know what it does? Can I have that? That sounds awesome.
Do you want our wizard to attempt to identify it or something? Have a little look-see?
I would very much like to look at such an interesting item.
Yeah. He places it down on the bar.
Cool.
And yeah, go ahead, take your 10 minutes.
Check that sucker out.
Do we just want to put the wand of secrets in the bag, I guess?
Yeah.
Where's our bag?
Does anybody have any attunement slots left?
I do.
I got a ring of protection currently that I can no longer use because I'm swapping it out for the staff.
Yeah. If there's nothing else I can attune to, then maybe, but...
Yeah, we can look and see what else there is.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next things that Tomas takes out is actually 2 immovable rods.
2 of
My God.
It's the last 2.
If you've got 2 of them, you can use them like a ladder, like a floating ladder. Oh, please.
just have to have, like, really good upper body strength,
Yeah, have you seen me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, just...
Alright, I take both of them. And then I put them, like, cross back, like katana style.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing he pulls
Best thing
out
ever.
is a ring. that he identifies as the Ring of Mind Shielding. That since Blaznir was asking about it.
Whoa. Blaznir.
Whoa.
You gonna eat that?
Hey, hang on. Who's the one party member in our party who has constantly been mind controlled and
That is-
possessed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she has a way to quickly end it.
Yeah, I do.
So
can't-
it's like,
I've got
you know.
stillness of mind.
I mean,
so it's like on her next turn, she could just be like, no.
that takes an
Alright.
action, doesn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah, it does take an action.
do you have a way to end it on yourself, Blaznir?
Make
I
his
was-
save.
Yeah, make the save at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Assuming it's one of those.
My whole thing, like I have just really high wisdom, so I don't technically, I'm not really that scared of being charmed.
No, it doesn't do anything about charm. It's it's mind shielding.
Yeah, it
It
doesn't
pr-
let them read your thoughts, determine if you're lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. They can only telepathically communicate with you if you allow it. You can use your action to cause the ring to become invisible. Blah blah blah. If you die while wearing it, your soul does enter the ring,
Ooh, that's fun.
and then you can remain in the ring or depart for the afterlife. Sounds like a phylactery to me.
A little bit.
You know what? Yeah.
Sounds
Ring of
like
mind
Blaznir.
Mhm. And then hopefully there's not already a soul in it, because it says as long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature wearing it. A wearer can't prevent this. So if there is a soul there, he is going to talk to
Now, just to warn you, the last person to wear this ring who died was actually a circus clown. So
He was a jester and a
Yeah,
bard, and
yeah.
all he does is cast vicious mockery on you.
No. All he does is sing the song that doesn't end.
mhm.
24/7, 365.
No, I like the idea that he would just comment on all your actions and just be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Do you even know how to swing a sword, bro?" Oh my god, I can't believe you just missed. That's so embarrassing.
You guys don't have to sell it to me anymore. I'm already sold. I'm good. I like it.
All right,
I love it.
Yeah, I think it looks really good on you, frankly.
Why do I hear whispering?
Why do I hear a strange honking noise?
Okay.
I can't decide if I want that to be canon or not. That was just a joke,
This is-
but
Mhm.
It's
Not
it's
anymore, it's
hurtful.
not.
All right, what's next?
let's see. He also brings out. He does have scrolls that he asked for. The scroll to remove curse. He did find that, and he was able to get 3 sending scrolls as well.
So
Cool,
there's
I'm
one
gonna
scroll of remove curse. per
copy
scroll.
remove curse into my spellbook then.
Unfortunately, this was the only one I was able to find, but they did have plenty of sending scrolls, so I got 3.
Okay.
I was also able to get 4 pieces of magical chalk, because I feel like you're probably kind of low.
I've got some.
Well, you got 4 more now.
Cool.
The last thing he brings out is a small bag, which turns out to have diamond dust. You got 500 gold worth of diamond dust.
Cool. Thank you. This, if anybody, stops being of their mind,
10 minutes are up, Corrin, and you're able to ritually cast Identify.
Heck yeah.
And the wand turns out to be a Wand of Wonder. It is random AF, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I know the one of wonder well.
I'm looking it up. Cast Slug, it's very fire, you're stunned. Gust of Wind, okay. Some fun spells.
Lightning bolt, fireball, leaves grow on the target, shoots out gems.
Now, answer me this question. Can Blaznir's familiar use magic items?
Not a wand.
What
Oh,
about
yeah, he's not a
what
spellcaster,
about my
no.
familiar? It can cast spells through itself.
It can cast
Well,
spells through it. You can
can do
cast
that too.
spells through it, or
Yeah.
you could use something like if you had a ring or something. I might let you, but not a wand.
Okay.
It was worth, it was worth asking.
I would like the Wand of Randomness if no one else wants it, but
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you deserve it. And I got the most valuable thing of all, which was 2 immovable rods.
It's everything you ever wanted.
I kind of feel bad for you guys that I got the good stuff.
I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
wizard with
honestly.
a 17 armor class right now, so that's pretty
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, I wish I had another attunement slot to have your ring, because then my AC would go up another one and I'd have a
No, I'm just gonna keep it.
Alright.
You could put that ring
I
on your
thought-
familiar.
Yeah, I could, but the only other thing that I had attuned was my atlas, and the only thing that actually lets me do is for like swap out a spell or the
Thought
thing where I can reaction to teleport away, but I've forgotten to use that, so
I thought the crown is also attunement.
it is.
You just don't have that much attunement.
Yeah, so I have
So you have 2.
the crown, the ring, and the staff
Got it. Okay.
currently.
Does anybody else want the Ring of Mind Shielding, by chance?
Are you not going to use it?
I mean, it depends on if anyone else wants it.
No.
No, my
No?
circlet is good enough.
Yeah, I've had the same stuff for so long, and I really like it all.
Yeah.
It's
But
all
that's,
really good.
Yeah.
your stuff is good. There's not really a lot that you need, but you got your immovable rods.
Yeah, and those don't require nothing.
Nope.
But the press of a button. I just love magic items that you don't have to be intelligent to use. Awesome.
Okay. Well,
We can't forget about the Wand of Secrets, though, guys, because we have it. We're gonna totally forget to ever use it.
We are. There's
Um,
there's no point
Put
trying
it
to
on
remember.
my character sheet, even though it's in the bag, just so I look at it.
Fair
Wand
enough.
of Secrets.
Wand of
Secret
Secrets.
wand. Secret wand.
I'm glad I never deleted the movable rod. I just unchecked it. So, hell yeah. All right. I say to everybody, well, I think we could get the Conclave themselves to teleport us back to Coltrast, so that maybe we can talk to Edmund and, the other various people that we all have come to know and love. But, so we have the 3 sending scrolls. I would like to request that we send one to somebody of the Fists of the Five, or Fists of the Father.
Fist of the Father. Yep.
Yeah, to try to get them to come. And the only 2 people I can think of is my dad, who I don't want to contact, and Zeal, who is the character I made.
So you want to talk to yourself?
Yeah.
Can people from Ingolfrin even get to the place in time?
Well, you've got to presume that they've got some teleportation. There's a conclave
I mean,
facility
that's what I
there.
was asking you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the conclave, but they're probably trying to help out with what's going on down there. But
Yeah, but way I see it, Golfrin, they don't really want to help others. They're going to deal with their own stuff. But the Fists of the
Sure.
Father have a moral obligation to participate in this.
okay,
They all took the same oath I did, and that oath has kept me on this path, and I think it's going to lead them on this path.
What exactly is the oath for these daddy's fisters, did you say?
Well, I don't engage with bad faith arguments, so...
That is a wonderful
So
response.
When you want to come back at me with the true curiosity and compassion, then I will tell you the oath I took.
what oath did you take? Ichabod out of pure curiosity.
Can I roll insight to see if he's really curious?
Go for it. Roll insight.
21.
Okay.
Oh, 11. I'm being curious.
Okay, he's truly curious.
Really
Alright.
curious.
I've alluded to it before, but a big part of the oath is not misrepresenting yourself. So everybody needs to know who I am and what I stand for. And then we are called to punish the guilty. Pretty much.
I think you do both those things very well.
Thank you.
You need a horse that's on fire.
I'm so glad you said that, Corrin. I cast Feinstein.
In the
Right here.
Conclave building, you just start casting Feinstein.
The one that goes. Okay.
When we get back to Coltras, actually he's already in Coltras, so when we get back there, I'll give him some aesthetic fire. But yeah, so that's really kind of what it's about, is those who would stand against the values of the five, mainly of the father. Yeah, we're called to destroy them.
Oh, I do hope your Fist of Father people could help. We need all the help we can.
Yeah, they're very
That
good at
I
what they
won't
do.
argue with.
All right, so
And also, we need some gods on our side, honestly. If, Imagine
Yeah,
if, like, Father comes down and starts, attacking the Dreamer. That'd be cool.
that's where
I've
it gets
learned
a little
not to rely
muddy.
on them for much.
I would say
No,
since my travels, I've come to doubt a little bit more how much our oath has to do with the father himself. But
Sure,
it's
let's, hypothetically.
still something
it's-
I'm good at and still something I stand by. So
Yeah.
if he wants to come down and tell me any different, by God, he's invited to. And I finish my drink.
As you finish your drink, you just get this odd whiff of stale tobacco smoke and cheap booze that just hits your nostrils, and it departs very, very quickly.
I smell the tobacco smoke and immediately start packing my pipe. We're more alike than I know. But yeah, so send something to them, and then maybe send something to Edmund to alert him that we are coming, so we don't set off a bunch of alarm bells.
Okay, so you're going to send a sending to Zeal. You got 25 words, but some time to prepare. So what are you wanting to send to him?
Oh man, this is my old best friend. I'm trying not to be too goofy. Well, first words I gotta say is, guess who? He'll know. Oh man, so it's to the Umber Spire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they've kind of got, I don't know, maybe they've got some kind of a briefing. I don't know. I just don't know how much to assume that he knows. Give me a second.
Probably good
Somebody
to
else do
assume he knows
something.
nothing.
Absolutely nothing. All right. Well, and that's almost better, because Zeal will absolutely respond to any sort of passionate call to action, especially if I'm like, it's life-threatening. All right. Guess who? The time has come. That's 6.
Save the world.
The time has come. Cult activities. I'm not even counting my words anymore. 8. Cult activities in the Umber Spire. So that's 12.
World-ending event.
World ends in 5 days. Oh no, I only have 3 words. Get there fast.
It's
There you
25
go.
words, not 20. But
Right, it has 25 words. That's
Yeah.
how many I did, right?
I thought I counted 20, but
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, you just 20.
I don't know how to count. Well, then I'll say, get your boys and get there fast.
Get your boys and get there fast.
Mhm.
you
That's the
go.
kind of stuff that Zeal would respond to.
I'm trying to remember the accent you gave Zeal for that one.
He was just very chipper, where he was like, "Onwards, my friends, to victory!" That's like what he was like.
Brother Sykes! Good to hear you!
Hell yeah.
Don't know the Umber Spire, but we'll gather up
Zeal.
the people, the boys, and make our way there as quickly as possible.
Hell
That's
yeah.
it. That was 25.
Ichabod laughs out loud and kind of rocks in his chair. Oh, Zeal, you old dog. Awesome.
Okay. You have two spells of sending left. Who are you going to reach out to next?
Let's see if we have anybody else that we can reach out to. I'm trying to think.
We haven't made very many allies, have we?
Wow. Well,
I
anybody in
mean-
Coltress, we just have to send one to let them know we're coming. Maybe we send that to Commander Lorient, but we don't have to send anything since we'll be there to talk to them.
Yes, like Madame Leshow, Shadows
We
of the
could
Wind
do,
is probably
Fontine's Aunt.
busy.
Send one
No.
to your master and be like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Dude, why did you do this?
Yeah.
How could you?
It was extremely whack how you did this.
Yep.
I want to play my next character like a frat boy.
Bro.
God.
I started my game on Friday, and we have a Paladin Oath of Glory who literally is just a frat boy.
Hell yeah. He goes by the bro code.
Heck yeah.
Oath of the Bro Code.
Oh my god. Just play Neil Patrick Harris in How I Met Your Mother, but
Paladin.
as a paladin.
And no, the correct response is they are a Knight of the Swoley Grail.
Okay, so, but really, other than that, I don't know. We should try to, what is there? There's one, 5-star knight left.
Insult my master, be like, it's like I don't even know you anymore.
We should send a message to that last 5-star knight. Just to
Yeah.
diss him
It's
so
fun.
gravely.
Diss him so hard he has no will to live anymore.
Thumbs
on me,
down. Would not fight again. 1
Yeah,
star.
remember how you ran away like a little bitch? Oh, we killed all your friends. And we lived in your house. Made a hot tub.
You know, I'm down. Then that's great.
Alright, maybe if I finish this bottle, I might be in the mood to do that.
I think it's a worthy thing to use a a spell for.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to wait and think about the third one, we can
Yeah.
always go back to Coltress.
Let's think about it.
Think about it in the meantime.
Okay, so who are you contacting with the second one?
Do Commander Lorient.
Okay.
Just
You're
to like let him know that we're about to come back through the teleportation circle. So don't freak out.
Okay.
Please
Gotcha.
don't kill us for teleporting.
Fair enough. So you use the scroll of teleportation, or the scroll ascending, to let Commander Lorient know that you're coming back to Coltress. You get a response quickly stating, acknowledged. We have people guarding the circle now, but we will be waiting for you.
They better disable those freaking alarms. Sick of hearing it. Alright, so then we talk to the Conclave people and see if they'll send us back to Coltress.
Okay.
You guys all done here?
I think so.
I think so too.
If Bashlor hasn't left yet, I'll ask him if there's anything he needs from me before we leave.
Ask him if he wants to come with. Wasn't he going to go back?
I don't know if he was or not.
Well, if you're asking about Bashlor Grigg, Blaznir would be able to tell you that there are only 2 other archdruids left in the building. The rest of them have
Okay.
left.
That's fine.
Have you guys seen the Archdruids? They're so cool. It's awesome.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I didn't notice. Who?
Really? They're they just radiated coolness around them. It was
Radiated coolness.
yeah.
I think they're
I don't know.
radiated spores and
Yeah.
pollen that is affecting
diff-
my sinuses.
What's the difference? Like
Yeah, it's all the same thing. Come on.
Spores are
spores are cool.
Well, if you're a druid, I suppose you could say that. But for the rest of us, I have allergies.
I would never be so weak to have allergies.
Y'all got different pollen here than we had in Gulford. My immune system ain't built for it.
That's fair.
You just see Tomas kind of shaking his head a little bit as you are all walking to the teleportation circle.
Yeah, I'm sure Tomas doesn't have any allergies. He's above all that.
Yeah, he's a monk. He can't have allergies.
He's immune to all
Immune
allergies.
to poison.
Yeah, I'm
All
immune to
allergies.
disease. Does that count?
Not really.
Immune
no.
to disease. Do I have to deal with seasonal allergies?
I know. Maybe that's part of the reason my my allergies are so bad. It's because I am immune to disease.
Maybe.
I'm not used to ever being sick, so I think this is the worst thing that's ever happened.
Matt,
Yeah.
I sent you a message.
Okay. Are you sending me that because you don't want it to be set on screen?
Yeah.
Keep secrets.
Okay.
Secrets.
I
Are no
mean,
fun.
they wouldn't be able to know anyways because alcohol and such, but
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I don't
So-
necessarily know if this is a good idea. And you can show the viewers.
What's Corrin doing? I have
Well-
a passive perception of 35.
How many drinks have you had?
Not very many. He
Go
doesn't
ahead.
drink very much.
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me,
Sure.
real quick, Corrin.
18.
Yeah,
Not
Blaze.
gonna beat Mr. 30, but
Yeah, no, there's really no way to.
how many drinks have you had, Mr. Sykes?
I think
Yeah,
Ichabod
what's
is
my
wrong.
tolerance like, though?
I would say Ichabod, you would have rolled that perception at disadvantage.
You guys, how many times do I have to drink to build up a tolerance?
I mean,
in
that's
every
a
session.
years and years thing, really.
You think Ichabod hasn't been drinking for years?
Oh no, I definitely think he has.
I gave alcohol to my like 16-year-old son.
Sorry, this is different whiskey from the whiskey you have back in Gulfrin.
You better stop.
Anyway, Blaznir, you would have noticed with your stupidly high passive perception that you just saw Corrin use one of the spell scrolls.
Oh. Okay.
That was it. So, 1 second. So, basically, Corrin went and used the spell scroll to cast the last sending to his master, Master Brightscale. He said, "Your motives? Do they have something on you? I will stop you if I must. Your road shall lead you to a disastrous fall, Master." Corrin, I'm gonna send you the response here.
Sure.
Let's stop adding flavor text. I only get punished.
Fine, you could have noticed it too, Ichabod, if you're that salty about it.
I am salty about it.
For the viewers at home, I was using sending to contact my master. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea, which is why I didn't tell anybody.
Ichabod's
That's
the king
alright.
of bad ideas.
Yeah, like how many bad ideas have me and Ichabod done at this point?
All of
We've
them.
almost killed a party like 3 times.
I'm
Like,
really good at presenting a bad idea like it's a good idea, and then getting everybody to agree to it, and then everybody gets mad at me after the fact.
Yeah, so much conviction that they believe you. Even
Yeah, I
though
know.
you know it's a bad idea.
Exactly. I'm an inspiration.
I just like bad
I-
ideas.
I say it so resolutely. from years of listening to my father say, "Don't ask questions and just do it, boy."
Jesus. Oh, I'm assuming you would know this, but I am gonna take some time during the day and attune to that staff.
I'm doing the same thing with a R&D wand.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait to use this and kill everybody.
Well, so Corrin, since we're doing it here, I'll just let the audience know as well that the response you get is, "You cannot understand, Maui. You cannot understand the importance of my work. One day you will thank me. We will all have what we want."
Jesus Christ.
I think he was mind controlled as well, honestly.
Maybe.
But
Or he really believes it, and this is a campaign we're supposed to fail at.
I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Yep. But you do go to the teleportation circle. There's a conclave member there standing by, ready to cast the spell to teleport you to the Coltrast. Tomas, he tells you that he did put the Coltrast circle on file, just in case, given everything that's going on. The spell is cast.
Oh, so it's fine for them to put our circle on file, but we can't put theirs on file? I see the double standard inherent in the system.
Yeah, you already know more of our circles than the Conclave is comfortable with, so be glad. But you step through the portal into the very familiar location that is Coltrast Keep. Fortunately, the moment you step through the alarms don't go off or anything like that. They were alerted to your presence, and Commander Lorient is waiting for you on the other side of the door. He informs you that Lord Edmund has returned to Coltrast this morning, in fact, and is currently holding audience in the Grand Chamber. But if you need anything else, he is he is available for you.
All right. Well, Mr. Lorient, how do you feel about joining a war?
A war,
I think his duty is probably to protect Edmund, but
I'm just saying you're a good fighter.
You could come down into the spooky, scary vine place with us.
Yeah, I would also argue that saving the world from a threat that might end it is, in a way, protecting Edmund.
I think that's the best way to protect Edmund, honestly. There's no better duty.
All right, I just stare at Lorient.
Well, I assume as you're all walking down the stairs to the lower level of Coltrast Keep, you kind of fill him in on the situation and what's going on with the cult and all that.
We don't need to give him like a full rundown because that would take too long, but the short version.
Yeah, the TLDR. I get it. Who wants to make the persuasion check for Commander Lorient to try to convince him to assist? Because
+9.
Like Blaznir said, his job is to protect Coltrast. So
Blaznir, it does have the best probability, but also I feel like me and Lorient see eye to eye because he's a man of war. I'm a man of war. I don't know. I want to roll it, but I know Blaznir has a better chance.
I mean, we could both roll one, I would assume, right? Or no?
So either one with advantage, or we both roll.
Yeah, if you want to work together, you can roll it at advantage, or you can each do a roll yourself. It's fine.
Just roll separately.
Okay, I'll give myself guidance. 25
Got a
and
16 Blaznir, got a 26.
26.
Well, Blaznir, you're arguing against him going before. So are you arguing
No, I
for him to
wasn't.
stay? You were just
I was-
saying, oh no, he probably has to stay here. Yada yada yada.
No, I
No,
was
I
the one who
Oh,
said
you were
he
the
has
one who
to
was saying
protect
that?
Edmund.
Oh, I thought it was Blaznir. My bad.
Nah.
Anyway, then yeah, working together, you're talking to Commander Lorient about this. Ichabod, you and him have seen eye to eye on many occasions. You're both men of war. You're both soldiers, and he's certainly
We need a strategist. I think they don't have enough strategists like you.
I think that's entire Conclave's goal, but yeah.
Shut up, Blaznir.
Just saying.
He tells you that he has to ask Lord Edmund first for permission, but if Lord Edmund grants his permission, he is definitely willing to head out to Weston and help the army fight the cult. He estimates he could probably gather about maybe 30 men or so, and still leave the town relatively protected. What's that?
What about the orcs? You think they'd be receptive to something like this?
Are they still around?
Yeah, they live in a place right outside.
Yeah,
of Coltrast.
they actually were recalled into Coltrast
Oh yeah.
a little bit ago, so they are actually here in town.
Damn.
And you do know the Bone Breaker very well, the leader of them.
Yeah. We should see if Bonebreaker wants to get in on this.
I think Bonebreaker would love to, but that's just the name, honestly. I don't know, I get a
Yes.
vibe.
Bodebreaker, how would you like the opportunity to break bones?
They have been slighted by the cult, and I mean, heck, everybody's involved, so might suggest it to them.
Yeah, why not?
Remind them that, hey, a lot of their forces are probably going to be undead, which means that primarily what you'll be breaking is, in fact, bones.
All the bones.
Zombies, skeletons.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Bonebreaker Darklax, that's her name, and her wife, Oreg Fate Twister, are both currently staying in Coltrast Keep. So you could go up and ask them to do so. We'll do this very quickly. Go ahead and give me another persuasion check at advantage or separately, and we'll see.
Give this one to Blaznir at advantage.
Matt,
Yeah.
we will give them the mighty
20.
drift globe as a prepayment.
I don't think that's as good as the like liquid
Jug
thing.
that makes booze? Yeah, I know, but still.
No, but you're giving it to her as a tribute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, I was gonna say that that Corrin giving this to her as like a sign of respect definitely adds to your favor. So with that nat 20 for a 29 plus the gift,
Hell
Darklax tells you that she is absolutely willing to rally all of the orcs to go off and fight on this quest. It actually sounds like a lot of fun to her.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, she is gonna get prepared, and Commander Lorient goes to make a request to Edmund to do the same. I'm going to see what Edmund's going to reply. A second.
Insight. Okay.
How bad he wants to go.
Debauchery
Well,
Circus put you up to this.
It was basically I wanted to do a wisdom check, so that's
Ah,
why I
okay,
used
that's fair.
insight. But it's actually not difficult to convince Edmund to allow Commander Lorient to take some men. he gives Lorient a little bit extra because he rolled so freaking low. So he's going to send a good amount of forces along on this mission as well. Commander Lorient is going to get 50 members of the militia.
Sweet.
Now, the Red Tusk Orcs only have about 30 people in their troop who are fighters, but they are going to be heading out as well.
Awesome.
There's a little bit of back and forth that has to go on because you have to get a wizard to make some sending spells to communicate with the Conclave, but the druids are there as well. There is a representative from Feywalker's Glen that assists in this and is going to be able to teleport them via plants to where they need to be.
Nice.
Cool. Perfect. Don't go yet, though, because we're going to go down to the basement. But we'll see, we'll see you guys.
Absolutely. But I think that's a good place to end things for this evening. You've gathered up your allies and have gotten them in on the job as well. Your group is getting ready to head down into the grove along with Tomas to see what the cult's up to down there and hopefully shed some light on what's going to be going on at the Umbra Spire. So that's where we're going to start things off next week.
Sweet.
2 weeks.
Or 2 weeks.
You said next week we're off.
Yes, next week. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Next week we are off. But we will be back in 2 weeks' time, and we will be jumping right into the Debauchery Circus, heading into the Underground Grove. Should be a lot of fun. But on behalf of everyone here in the Debauchery Circus, I just want to say thank you for watching. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us, and come back and see us in 2 weeks. So, once again, thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time. Good night.